Hi, my name is Iga and you're watching Pixie and the Notes. As probably most of you fuckheads, I don't give a flying monkey whether a fragrance is marketed for men or for women. I simply enjoy a fragrance if I enjoy a fragrance. But there are a number of fragrances that I really enjoy, but I find them too masculine for myself to wear. So I have this problem that whenever I wear them, I have a feeling that I'm wearing someone else's shoes and that something is off, and I feel a little bit self-conscious. I feel that the image and the scent, that they don't go together, that there is this kind of imbalance. So today I would like to talk about my favorite masculine fragrances that are extremely masculine and that are amazing for guys. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. I would like to start with a disclaimer that you will probably see a common denominator for all the fragrances I'm going to mention today. And as I was looking and browsing through the fragrances that are simply too masculine for myself to wear and that I would love to smell on a man, I discovered that they share certain qualities. They're usually quite aromatic and spicy, and there are certain notes that keep recurring. And for me, the most masculine and sexy notes are vetiver, patchouli, and also lavender. Lavender like brings this association in my brain with a man. So they will be like aromatic, spicy fragrances featuring mostly vetiver and patchouli. Out of the way, none of these fragrances will be like a typical fougere, because I don't know why. Well, I know why. Fougeres smell like my grandpa's, and as much as nice memories I have of my grandpa's, I don't find these type of fragrances especially alluring. I think Freud would have a few words to say about that, right? So fougeres are kind of fragrances just that scream grandpa to me. Okay, that was a long disclaimer. On to the list. So the first scent is Heritage EDT by Guerlain, and this fragrance is a personification of this mature, classy gentleman. He is reliable, he is familiar, and he just brings you the feeling of comfort and safety. You feel you will feel good around him. And I decided to pair the fragrances that I'm mentioning with kind of my celebrity crushes. They're mainly actors. So for Heritage, I would go with two actors that I absolutely love, and one of them would be Bill Murray in Lost in Translation, and Morgan Freeman. These two gentlemen are just this warm, gentlemanly, safe, reliable man. And this is what Heritage smells like to me. Another fragrance, kind of in the same vein, would be Bois de Portugal by Creed. And this one is often compared to New York Intense, which I consider the most beautiful masculine fragrance on the planet Earth. However, with New York Intense, the weird thing is, although I find it uber masculine, I really enjoy wearing it myself and I don't feel self-conscious. But with Bois Portugal, I don't know why, maybe, although they are quite similar, some kind of tweaking of proportions in the fragrance kind of make Bois de Portugal much more masculine feeling. And Bois de Portugal is this also a gentleman in a white shirt. He's the type of dude that will never hurt you, that he will never say nasty things. He will always take care of your well-being. And for that part, the perfect person for Bois de Portugal is Colin Firth. He is the impersonation of this fragrance for me. He is extremely handsome, classy, sophisticated, reliable, well-behaved, well-mannered, a true gentleman, with this kind of traditional approach. He's kind of like from the old era of gentlemen, and this has a very strong appeal. And I find this fragrance extremely attractive. So the next category is like the exact opposite. So these are dangerous men. These are men that are here to cause trouble. These are the sexy ones and the bad boys kind of sense. And the first one I would like to mention is Una Morette from État de Libre d'Orange. And here we have this Akigali wood, but this smells straight up like vetiver. And it's mixed with sweet notes like vanilla and iris. And the overall character of this fragrance is extremely potent, empowering, and strong, and slightly intimidating almost. This is the man. And for this fragrance, the person that would go best to kind of portray what kind of man would wear Una Morette would be Jason Momoa. So this is unmistakably an alpha male. He is loud. When he enters, he takes up the whole room. And the same goes with the fragrance. It's extremely potent. The projection is beastly. And you have no doubt that you are dealing with a strong dude. Another scent in this kind of vein is a scent that I've never seen anyone mentioning, and this is L'Haïn from Moth and Rabbit. This is a very, very niche fragrance, and this is probably one of the sexiest masculine fragrances that kind of makes me, you know, blush a little bit when I smell it. It's almost too sexy, if you know what I mean. So again, here you get this punch of birch tar, of rubber, of all those scratchy, strong, overpowering notes. But the overall feel is like almost you get this kind of the smell of a masculine skin after a whole day. So it's kind of like this worn out human skin, masculine skin, and it has a very animalic appeal. So it's like this kind of scent, you know, but it also carries some sort of like elegance, So with this fragrance, I picture Vincent Cassel, which, by the way, stars in the film La Haine, by which the fragrance was inspired. Here, Vincent is wearing like a stubble. His hair is messy. He's wearing a crisp white shirt. It's unbuttoned, and he's wearing a jacket, a suit, and the sleeves are rolled up. And he comes back after the whole day of work somewhere in the office. And the moment he crosses the door, you know you are in trouble. Yeah, it's getting hot in here. Another kind of quirky and unusual fragrance in this list is another one from État de Livre d'Orange, and it's called Fat Electrician. I know the name is just, it doesn't bring very good association, but this is like a gourmandy vetiver. And in theory, all the notes, there is whipped cream, there is some caramelized chestnuts, I think. All those things would make you feel that this might be a good unisex, but for some reason, the combination of vetiver and those gourmandy notes, I get some pepperiness. It's very masculine, and I tried wearing it myself, but I always felt uncomfortable. And I thought, I don't like this fragrance, but that wasn't a problem because I really, really enjoy the fragrance. I simply felt that this is too masculine. There is something too masculine about this fragrance. So whenever I think about Fat Electrician, I know this will be a very weird association, but I imagine Bradley Cooper in The Star is Born, a movie. So he is kind of, you know, kind of rugged, kind of, you know, he didn't shower for 2 days, he's smoking a cigarette, and he's eating a waffle with a whipped cream on it. What can I say? This speaks more than 1,000 words. Another one is a classic I don't have to even describe. This is Fahrenheit from Dior. It needs no introduction, I don't have to say anything about it. This is another extremely masculine and sexy fragrance. This, on a right man, can be a weapon. And for this fragrance, I paired this fragrance with a big crush of mine. And I think a lot of ladies, and not only ladies, can relate, and this is Hugh Jackman. Yes. I don't think I have to say anything more. Dior Fahrenheit. Another one is yet another old-time classic, and this is Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. Beautiful mix of spicy vetiver, lavender, and with the creaminess. And here I get this gentlemanly vibe with some spicy warmth. And whenever I think about this fragrance, I see Daniel Day-Lewis, and yeah, I think he would suit this fragrance quite a lot. Another patchouli fragrance. I don't know what it is about patchouli and vetiver that makes them so sexy and masculine. I really don't know, but they are sexy as hell. And speaking about hell, there is a fragrance that smells like a sexy priest. And this is Patchouli Absolute by Tom Ford. This is this combination of beautiful, slightly minty patchouli with some austere resins, almost like incense, frankincense, and there's something very unapproachable, unobtainable, yet extremely alluring. And I imagine Ralph Fiennes as a priest. Yeah. Forgive me, Lord, because I sinned. Another fragrance is Laurel by Comme des Garçons. Here the main player is bay leaf, and I also discovered that a lot of the fragrances on this list include bay leaf. There is something in bay leaf and in vetiver that kind of evokes the smell of a masculine body. That is very, very, very appealing and very alluring to me as a woman. Laurel is centered around bay leaf, and there is some woodiness, some greenness. It's very elegant, it's very sophisticated and pretty easygoing. It's not a very dark or complicated fragrance, yet it has a very strong appeal. And with this fragrance, I imagine Robert Downey Jr. I think it would go really well with this fragrance. So the last one is probably the most modern and easygoing and most contemporary and young fragrance on this list. And this is Narciso for Him, the EDT version, created by Francis Kurkdjian. This is centered around the violet leaf, patchouli, again, duh, and amber. And this is a pretty simple fragrance for everyday wear, for a pretty young dude. He is very likable. He is easygoing, and initially he might seem kind of underwhelming, but when you look closer, you can see that there is more to him. And for this fragrance, I chose Edward Norton. I think he would rock this fragrance. So let me know if you know any of these, what you think. Do you think they are too masculine, or can you wear them as a woman? So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching, and let me know what fragrances are very strictly man only for you and why, and whether you agree with my explanations and my choices. Again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.